Welcome to the 2014 Michigan High School Soccer Coaches Association Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Zach Donker. I'm the head soccer coach at Petoskey High School. Just quickly, I'd like to introduce the rest of our executive board. At the front of the room where you walked in is David Hewlings, our executive director, who's the head boys and girls coach at Muskegon Western Michigan Christian. Up front we have Brent Sorg, who is our secretary. Brent's the head boys coach at Williamson High School. Aaron Dean is our treasurer. Aaron's the head boys coach at Grand Haven High School. And just walking in here is John Conlon, the head boys and head girls coach at East Kentwood High School. So we're really excited. Last year we started the Hall of Fame, and I just wanted to kind of show who the inductees were last year. And the company that our class of 2014 here is going in with. And I'll just run through the coaches and where they're from. Nick Archer, who's here this evening from East Lansing High School. Dave Backhurst from University Liggett in Detroit. Paul Bartashuk from Detroit Country Day. Scott Batchelor from Petoskey. Terry Mukhtar for years at Warren De La Salle, now he's at Fraser, and Tim Storch, who was at Troy Athens for a long time and now has retired from teaching and is in Alpena at his cottage, and he took over the boys and girls program in Alpena 2 years ago. So we're really excited to have you guys here. We're going to start with our Hall of Honor, and our Hall of Honor was set up to recognize those coaches and officials and administrators who may not have served their entire tenure in the game as a head coach, but they've made significant contributions to the game. So we'll start with that, and then we'll transition to the Hall of Fame. One other note, the food will be arriving at some point. We're going to take a short break in the middle of the ceremony. People can grab food and come back in, and then we'll keep the ceremony rolling. So. First, I'd like to bring up Brent Sorg. He's going to talk about our Academic All-State program, and then Aaron and John are going to recognize our Coaches of the Year, and then we'll get into the main program. So, Brent.
Thank you. So for the all-academic, this past year we had 234 boys were recognized for obtaining a 3.3 or higher GPA. In the girls' side, 286 individual girls. And then with respect to the team, cumulative GPA, again, 3.3 or higher. 35 boys teams were recognized and 70 girls teams. So that's significant numbers, and obviously we're proud of kids in the classroom as well. Thank you.
Here's John Conlon talking about our Coaches of the Year during our girls' season in 2013.
Every year we recognize 3 different categories for the Coach of the Year, one being large school, one being small school, and one being private. For our girls' season last spring, our large public school was Brian Zwazlak of Troy, who was our state coach of the year. Our small public school was Jeff Korstange of Gull Lake. Jeff also received the NSCAA Region Coach of the Year, meaning that he beat out 7 other state coaches of the year for the Regional Coach of the Year, which is a huge accomplishment. And then for private school, Jason Boersma of South Christian in Grand Rapids was our private school Coach of the Year. Aaron will talk about the boys Coach of the Year from the fall.
We also had 3 boys coaches recognized in the large school and the large public school category. Chris Morgan from Ann Arbor Skyline. He also went on and received the NSCAA Coach of the Year award for Region 4 as well. For the small public school, we had Nick Archer from East Lansing. He also won the regional award from the NSCAA. And for the private school, Joe Vanderkoppel from Lansing Christian.
To introduce Henry Rojas, Brent Sorg.
Are you okay without Mike? So, Enrique Henry Rojas, please come forward. Doing the formal introduction of good, sir. Congratulations. Is going to be his boss, Nick Archer, who was inducted last year, but I'm just going to do a short introduction on Enrique Henry Rojas, Jr. He's married to Marcia, who is his wife, who's here present with him this evening, for 44 years. They have 3 children, Chad, Dora, and Adam. They have 3 grandchildren, Jade, Emily, and Adam. He retired in November of '08 from General Motors after serving there for 38 years. He started his coaching career as an assistant at Sexton High School in Lansing, and he's been with the East Lansing program since 1996, where he currently serves with Nick Archer. So without further ado, I'll let Nick do the formal introduction and go from there.
Oh, I think we can handle it. Thanks, Brent.
You're welcome.
You going to use the mic, Enrique?
No, I won't need the mic.
You won't use the mic? All right. Well, I have to use my gym voice then, okay? Well, I want to thank the board, for setting this night up, and also for the Hall of Honor, which I really think is a neat thing to do, because there's so many people, and we all been involved with them. Assistant coaches, people who work within the program or work with development of soccer. You really kind of get lost a little bit, but they're so critical to the program, because any program, to be successful, and I don't mean this in wins or losses, but just for the experience that the kids go through, the positive experience that they go through. There's several people besides, the head coach that are instrumental in their lives, and Henry is one of them. I met Henry 27 years ago when he was over at Hope, and it was an experience, because Henry can be intense. I really didn't know him before that, but I realized that he did come out and scout me for several times before we actually came across them in the game. But anytime you went out to Holt, you knew you were in the game because they had the home field advantage. If you played on this field, the grass was nicely cut, but the lines on the sidelines, the touch line, the goal lines were like in a divot. So it was almost like bowling with bumpers. You hit the ball, and it just stayed down the line. It took us a while to get used to that, because the ball wouldn't go off very often, but they just knew that it wouldn't, and we knew what would happen. But anyway, it was an experience. Playing against Henry, and then the opportunity came a few years later, 10 years later, matter of fact, where jobs and things changed, and he was looking for something else to do, and I said, Henry Rojas. HR. Hey, that's like a home run, okay? He's got all this coaching experience. I know that he's worked with the youngsters. He came to us, I found out, you work with someone for 15 years, you really find out a lot about them, and how much they really care for the kids that are in the program, how they connect with them. And this is, really critical if you want to get the best out of what you got there. And he's also known as the data man. If you want a lot of data, then he likes to accumulate. And he's got it on his computer, and it's really beneficial to you, because if you know which way they're going to do this or that, especially on a PK or something like that, helps out if you got some data on him. But he's also a detailed man, very detailed in some of the things that how he explains things to us. And gets really down to the nitty-gritty, and the kids really understand where he's coming from when he's done. It could take a while to fade into knowing what's going on. But seeing him work with youngsters, how he treats them, how he explains things to them, how they respect him. I think even the soccer team and the indoor team is Rojas United or something like that. FC Rojas. So, his connection there hasn't been lost. And we are real fortunate, because he represents the program in a positive way. He's well respected within the Mid-Michigan community, and he's done a heck of a job, for us. And we're so fortunate to have him be part of our program for the last 10 years. So Henry, well deserving of this recognition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was sitting over there talking to Lynn Archer, Nick's wife, and my wife, and I sitting here watching this thing turn over pictures of all these people. And the more I watch it, the more I feel honored and humbled to even be considered in this group. Because one of the things that I've learned over the years, as I was talking over here, is I think it's a lot easier to be in a state championship game than to be standing right here, right now. Okay? This is not my belly wag. But that there's these people that we saw here from last year and those people that are going to be here this year, and for all those people that never, for some reason or another, the timing, whatever, don't get recognized, and how many great people we have inside of our soccer community, not only as coaches, but as referees, as players, and as parents that we meet in our life. And sometimes, you just don't, you can't just recognize everybody. So it's quite an honor for me to be here standing in front of you today, and truly humbled. I think that, to me, that the thing that 30-some years has given me longevity inside the game, one is the people that I've been around, the coaching staff, the kids that I've been around, which is what it's really for, a wonderful wife who supported me throughout 30-some years of coaching. In fact, we'll be married this Friday, 44 years. And I think the other thing is, Nick alluded to it a little bit, and he said the intensity. That I am an intense guy. I wear all my emotions on my sleeves, okay? On the sleeves, and that I have a passion for the game. I love it. I don't think that people ever stop learning, and I've always applied that in my life. And when I started coaching this, because I didn't play high school soccer. I grew up north, in northern Michigan, and I was a football player. So to see the transition, when I did play, I ran into a guy from Flint Carmen Ainsworth. I didn't know him at the time. He brought it up later when I played in an Alma men's league. And when he ran into me when we were playing at Holt against us, when we played against Flint Carmen, he says, "Aren't you Henry Rojas, and didn't you play for Alma?" And I, "Yeah, and who are you?" And he proceeded to tell me. He says, "Not a lot of skill there." He said, "You were intense." And I said, "Yeah, I always have been. They can't get by me. In football, I learned to tackle. So you tackle in soccer, right? Per se." And they had me labeled as the Raging Bull from Alma. So that was my defensive status that made me so proud. Proudest moments in coaching have been is getting hired at Holt as the inaugural coach back in 1984. But even more so, and I'm not going to take away from the high school sport, the thing where I learned the most was when I was at Immaculate Heart of Mary as a soccer coach, coaching the little guys and gals, and began to refine and learn and make me hungry for the game to develop the passion. Because, kids, what do? They just love I don't know if they love the game or they just love to be involved. But that's what brought me involved, okay? With that, thank you, folks. I appreciate the honor, to the administration, to the staff, and to the membership of the Michigan High School Soccer Coaches Association. Thank you.